I'm Guy Seehee of Lexica Research and Development in Tokyo, and I'm joined today by Aaron Campbell, Associate Professor and Chair of the Department of Global Studies at the Kyoto University of Foreign Studies. He agreed to join me and explain it from a teacher's perspective, what implementing a cooperative learning solution in classrooms, multiple classrooms, what it's like. So thank you for joining, Aaron.
Thank you very much for having me here, Guy. It's my pleasure.
Prior to the Team Challenge tournament, had you ever heard of TGT cooperative learning before? And if so, what had you heard about it?
Yes and no. I mean, when I saw the acronym, the TGT label, I didn't recognize it immediately. But when I looked it up, I realized, oh, this has to do with team competition in learning and educational settings. I knew from reading Johnson & Johnson and Slavin that, when it comes to competition, the outcomes and also the performance and motivation levels of students working in teams outperforms those working as individuals.
What about your students? How did they react when you first brought up the idea?
I think well, it was a big shock to them because I didn't warn them at the beginning of the semester. I kind of dropped it on them about a week before it started. And they were kind of surprised. Some of them were intrigued. They asked a few questions. A few of them looked a little nervous. They didn't really kind of know how this would go. And so it was a mixed bag at first, but once we got done with that first week, I noticed a change in the attitude and of course the levels of activity as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
When you got it started and they started understanding, oh, this is a team competition, we need to beat the other classroom each match we're involved in. What did you say? How would you review progress with the teams after each weekly match? How did you approach that?
Just to give a little bit of context, we have 4 classes that were competing against each other. And the way it was set up was a kind of a round robin type tournament. So it's a total of 6 weeks. Now you have to remember, these are language classes.
How many students in
we're looking at about 30 students per class.
Okay.
But you have to remember, and this is the interesting part of it, these are leveled by English level. So the class A is our highest level, or our class D is our lowest level. There's a big difference between the top and lower classes because it's a big spread of students. At the bottom end, you've got students at the A2 SEFR level. Right. And in the upper class, you have students who are basically fluent at the C2 level. So there's a huge discrepancy, and therefore there's some identity issues and maybe some feelings of inadequacy, especially amongst the lower students in our department, because their English levels aren't high enough, and they need to compete against the upper, and they have to compete against these upper level students. And so I think some of them were nervous at first, but the beauty of it is that because we were using Word Engine, and because Word Engine places each student according to their level at the beginning, so it evens the playing field. So it comes down to effort. And so it gave our lower level students a great sense of confidence. It was a real confidence builder because by the end of the week, they realized if they put the effort in, they're going to achieve. And indeed they did. They actually
How about the top students? They thought, we got this on a lock, right? And then suddenly they're being...
That's kind of what happened. So
awesome. In fact, step up.
The 2 lower classes were the ones that outperformed the upper level classes. Yeah.
Was the way you talk to them about Word Engine is different during a tournament?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it is an event that is time related, and it's also performance related. And there is an external competitor that's not in the room. And so suddenly, unlike before where we had a classroom full of individuals working on their own individual goals. Now, suddenly they were still doing that, but at the same time, there was now a group goal to try to achieve. And that changed the way I talked about it, because without the tournament, I'm trying to motivate those students by connecting their activity to the benefits that they're going to achieve, which we tend to lose that very quickly. Our awareness of why we're actually doing this, it gets lost in all the activity. But we're doing it because these students, they need to be great speakers of English. They need to be great communicators. It's going to open doors for their future. And so I'm while I'm trying to, constantly remind them of this and how building high frequency vocabulary is going to get them there faster. But now we've got another reason to be excited and to be motivated, is because we don't want to lose. And we want to show that other classroom that we can do the best as a team. And then suddenly my speaking as a teacher kind of morphs into more like that of a sports coach. Like, wow. I sometimes feel like at the very beginning of the week, I'm trying to motivate them to achieve that the best they can. And I show them the results on the big screen of the team that just, either won or lost in the previous week. And I show how many correct responses, and I look at and I compare it with their correct responses. And I try and show them, okay, you're going to have to do 20% better this week if you want to try and beat them.
Everyone's working on their own sets of words.
That's right.
More just time on task and effort.
Time on task and effort. That's right.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions for how the tournament could have been made more motivational for students?
Yeah, I do actually have a few suggestions. The way we did it is we would talk to our students both at the beginning of the week, during the week, and at the end of the week. So we would constantly be, showing them, okay, what's going on? Oh, look, you guys are ahead, but keep going because I know they're going to catch up. And sometimes when I found myself with the other teacher in the presence of other students, he and I would, kind of, because it's also kind of a competition between us as well.
Oh,
he's a teacher, I'm a teacher. My class is going up against his class. Right. And of course, it's all for fun. And we know that this is not high stakes stuff. It's all for fun. No. So it leads itself to joking around and smiling and laughing.
Oh, that's great.
That's a good thing. Yeah. But I think another thing that would really enhance this experience, intercollegiate kickoff ceremonies for the tournament, or maybe an awards ceremony where people from all the different universities, the students can come together in one big room, speeches can be given, awards can be handed out, students can give their own little speeches if they want, and just make it fun and hand out digital prizes of some sort. And that could be a good way to do it as well. Yeah,
that's fantastic. I'm excited to run the next tournament.
I hope if you do run another one, we can participate. I think.
I know, please.
I think this idea of TGT, cooperative learning, is very powerful, and we should all, as educators, we should be looking for ways to take the current practices that we have and ask ourselves the question: is there any way we can gamify this? Is there any way we can do this in cooperative ways that foster some spirit of team competition? Because if so, it might be worth a try.
The key is the team.
Yeah, the team. I think that's an important life lesson to learn too. When we talk about living in families and communities and in groups of people, it's not just about you. It's about, if we want to achieve world peace, if we want to achieve a just society where things run as they should and people help each other, then we have to be a part of that, and we got to play our role in that. And so I think this is the kind of thing that cooperative learning teaches people. Fantastic. It goes beyond just academic achievement. It builds character. So,
well, thank you so much for your time, Aaron, and sharing your thoughts. And I've got renewed motivation now to live up to your expectations for an even better experience next time.
Good.